Hello everyone, this is Okuna and welcome to episode 4 of our Galaxy on Fire 2 with Elite Dangerous comparison, especially from the viewpoint of the Galaxy on Fire 2 player and fan. Now, in the last episodes we discussed what we can do from the station screens, and now we will go into space. First thing here in Galaxy on Fire, you can depart a station without any idea where to go. That's totally okay. You can navigate while being around. And here you can see we are already inside some skirmish, and if we want, we can take part. Let's do a bit. Okay. I haven't played the time, so it does not look that nice. But still. Here you can see the game. Here you can see the game is not that difficult. Shooting up ships is not a thing which takes up too much time. But it shows you nice mechanics and lots of ships fighting with each other, and even a larger one here. But we wanted to do some traveling. So what can we do? There are two possibilities. Either use a cargo drive, which you will get later in the game, or use warp gates, which are available to you right from the beginning. And here... okay, got them all. Here in this vicinity of the station is a warp gate. You can use a small target selector, either go to the asteroid field, go to the station, or go to the jump gate, if there is a jump gate, and then the game auto-navigates you there. And you can even speed up time if you like. Well, speeding up time is something which is not available in Elite Dangerous, so obviously can't do that. When we have docked, or well, booked a passage on the warp gate, just select the target system and the target planet. Let's go to Bidon, go there, charge up the warp gate and fly there quite instantly. When we are there, we are presented with the station, or we come out of hyperspace near a station. Then we can dock with it or continue our journey. If we want, we could also... where is it? Here. Here is the cargo drive. We can use the cargo drive, well, either jump to the void system or wherever we want. The mechanics of this look quite the same like in the jump gate sequence, with the only exception that you can select every planet in every system, and the only difference is how much energy it costs. When you then want to dock with a station, just select it and fly to it, and you are docked. Quite simple mechanics. Now, let's go over to the Elite side of our games. Here we are at the Elite side of the equation, docked at a station and parked inside the station. So, obviously, to go into space, you first have to go into the station to prepare your ship and the station for launch, which does not take too long and which is a kind of mechanic for the multiplayer and the different multiplayer instances. Here it's also quite easy just to launch into space, but contrary to
Ship released.
Galaxy on Fire, there is no autopilot bringing you outside of a station. You start from your landing pad, have to find the way out of the station. Well, obviously it's that mailbox slot, which conveniently is placed in the right direction when you start. Then when you are outside of it, you retract your landing gear, and then you are ready for either inter-system or hyperspace travel. This is done using the monitor to the left, like you saw in a earlier episode. Here you can select lots of targets either in your system or in the next systems around you. There is no distinction between a normal hyperspace jump and a car door hyperspace jump, simply because there are no jump gates and there is no car door drive. But there is something similar to a car door drive. Your ship is equipped with a frameshift drive capable of hyper jumps between systems, usually distances of some light years. That depends on which hyperspace drive you have fitted. Now here let's take Nuenets, which is 7.81 light years away, and select it as target and engage hyperspace jump. So here you can see the hyperspace drive is now charging up, ready to travel, and there have to be some things to be observed, which your ship tells you soon. First, you have to align with the target destination. That means here on the left there is a small radar blinking in blue. This shows you where your target is. Nuets, here you can see it, and then you throttle up your speed. And off we go. Also, contrary to Galaxy on Fire 2, you cannot select where in the system you will jump out. It will always be one of the main stars. And it's always the same main star. Here you can see another nice mechanic. When you fly around certain types of stars, you can replenish your fuel resources. This is very, very handy if you do not have a station to dock with and to refuel, which might get you stranded. But there is a kind of player-based community. They're called fuel rats, which you can call then, and they try to help you out. Okay, now we are in so-called Supercruise mode, where we can achieve super luminous speeds. You can see our current speed on the top right of the scanner. Right now it is about 13 times of light speed, and on the scanner you can see some of the bigger planets and other ships also in Supercruise speed. From here you either select them by pointing at them, in this case stations or planets. Let's go back to the sun here. Or you look at the nav panel, and what can we see here? There would be some stations like Shriver Hub, Harbor, Port, Forester Dock. They are quite far away at 11,000 light seconds. So let's first look at the nav beacon. Nav beacon is where most of the NPC ships come out of hyperspace, so you can go there and have a look at them. let's shortly go there so you can also see more of the elite ships. And next time I show you better flying in Supercruise. Here I was too fast, so I overshot the target a bit. And then I thought I plunged near to the sun. That slows me down a little bit faster. On the bottom left side you can see how your distance to the target and how your speed in relation to that target is. And to safely exit Supercruise, both have to be in the blue part. When you go near a Supercruise target, you will automatically slow down because of its vicinity, and most of the time is also because of its mass. Now the nav beacon does not have that much mass, so here it is automatically through the vicinity. Okay, now let's disengage while we are at the right distance. Now we can see other ships right in here, which we can interact with. Here you see I can deploy quite some weapons, and I think I have outfitted this ship with a, let's say, experimental weaponry. I have not tested that yet, and I think testing of this weaponry will be for another time, since it will mean also quite an interesting part of gameplay. So in order not to have to drive for too long time in Supercruise, let's choose another system and go back there where the main station is not too far away. And let's go to where we came from. This is Shinrata Desra, and Shinrata Desra is
Cannot comply.
It's the Founder's World. You have access to it either if you are elite or you backed the game earlier. Now, when I wanted to start the hyperspace jump, it says I cannot comply. Here you can see. My hard points are deployed. First, I would have to retract them, so let's do that. And then I can go and
frame shift drive
charge
charging.
my frame shift drive to hyperjump to Shinrata Desra. As we see earlier, throttle up, and off we go.
2, 1, engage.
It's nice that the ship's voice already does the countdown and says engage. So we come out at the sun, we can fuel up. These small jumps are not that fuel costly.
Fuel scooping complete.
And there you can see is the Founder's World, 342 light seconds away.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Then fly there. And then we get another part of interesting gameplay. But first, here's also some interesting thing. From time to time, unidentified signal sources might pop up. You can go investigate, and perhaps there are some pirates, or some ship has strewn cargo around, or a trader offers you some kind of possibilities, or. This is for you to find out. Now, let's select the Founder's World. And we also have selected a pilot, which is also on the way to the Founder's World. You can take and interdict other pilots out of frame shift if you want to engage them. Either you are a bounty hunter and you know who to engage, or you are on an assassination mission, or you even are a pirate and found some nice and juicy freighter which you want its cargo from. But for now, let's go to the Founders World. Other game mechanics are for future episodes. And I think the next game mechanic we all want to see is kind of bounty hunter mechanic where we do test out our laces. Now, here you can see this is the Founders World, but we are more interested at the station around Founders World, Jameson Memorial in this case. You can also see it on the navigation panel. The navigation panel is always ordered around. It's always ordered with distance, so Founders World is the nearest, and here is Jameson Memorial, and there also would be an unidentified signal source. But for now, we are interested in Jameson Memorial. You can see the commander, well, not the commander, but the NPC we have selected before has jumped out of frameshift, and here is a frameshift. Can we say this? When we would... Hey, here you can see it in the lower left, a low energy FSC wake. If we follow this, and we can now do this, we jump out where the NPC has jumped out, or if the NPC is another player, then we would jump out where the other player has jumped out. And right now, I think this player has jumped out right near the station, and here you can see the station in all of its glory. This is Jameson Memorial, and the name Jameson Memorial comes from the first name of the first commander in Elite from 1984, where you were Commander Jameson. Right now, no commander is named Jameson, the name is reserved, and there was only one video where a Commander Jameson was indeed mentioned, and I think she was female, which is a nice touch. So, at the Jameson Memorial description you can see how far it is away and how long it will take for me to reach there at my current speed. There is one limit, 7.5 kilometers is where you can first go and request docking, which we want to do now. Contrary to Galaxy on Fire 2, you have to request docking, otherwise the station will not react nice to your trespassing, and you will have to go out of it quite fast or it will open fire. And believe me, you do not want a station to open fire on you. It is far more powerful than anyone. So be revered in the vicinity of a station. But we have the landing clearance. Let's deploy the landing gear. Here we can see that we have landing pad 45.
Landing gear deployed.
Deploying the landing gear also limits my top speed, which is also helpful since I would be fined if I destroy or damage another ship flying too fast, like this Cobra here. Now go inside the station, find your landing pad right before you and land on it. For this, there is an automatic landing computer which would do this for you, but the fun is more in doing it yourselves. Now you have seen me flying with a joystick. If you want, you can also do that with your mouse, and I think it would also be possible to do it with a keyboard. I'm also having not only just a joystick, but I have a joystick throttle combination, which makes this game especially enjoyable. Contrary to Galaxy on Fire 2, you always steer your ship, not the target reticule, like it always does when you use either joystick or mouse. So I think the natural way of steering Elite is indeed with a joystick. But you can do it with the mouse, and there are people who like it, and you can be very precise with it. If you have any questions, then go and post them below. Otherwise, I think I'll quit it for this time, and we will see each other again soon, describing new gameplay mechanics and how they are in Galaxy on Fire 2 and Elite Dangerous. So, let's see each other soon. Bye!